This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
OPEC Plus agreed on Sunday to extend most of its deep oil output cuts well into 2025 as the group seeks to shore up the market amid tepid demand growth, high interest rates and rising rival U.S. production. Brent crude oil prices have been trading near $80 per barrel in recent days, below what many OPEC Plus members need to balance their budgets. Worries over slow demand growth in top oil importer China have weighed on prices alongside rising oil stocks in developed economies. The OPEC Plus have made a series of deep output cuts since late 2022.
Oil prices edged lower on Monday as investors digested the complex deal brokered by producer group OPEC Plus to extend various layers of output cuts, much of them into 2025. Brent crude futures for August delivery were down 42 cents at $80.69 a barrel by 13:18 GMT. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures for July delivery slipped 45 cents to $76.54. Some analysts described the group's decision, agreed on Sunday, as incrementally bearish for oil prices. The OPEC Plus are currently reducing output by a total of 5.86 million barrels per day, equating to about 5.7% of global demand.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
Norway's gas exports to Europe fell sharply on Monday as a shutdown of the offshore Sleipner hub halted operations at the Nyhamna onshore processing plant, pipeline operator Gassco said, lifting European prices to their highest level this year. The outage was caused by a crack discovered in a 2-inch pipeline on board Norway's offshore Sleipner riser platform, the company said. It was not yet known how long this will take to repair, but the situation is not considered dangerous, it added. This has big consequences from a supply perspective, Alfred Hansen, head of pipeline system operations at Gassco, told Reuters.
Proposed new European sanctions targeting transhipments of Russian liquefied natural gas, LNG, are unlikely to impact Asian buyers, Kadri Simpson, European Commissioner for Energy, told reporters in Tokyo on Monday. As part of a 14th package of sanctions on Russia over its war on Ukraine, the European Union proposed to ban reloading services by EU facilities for transshipment of Russian LNG to third countries. This does not affect imports into the EU. The EU would also ban new investments and the provisions of goods, technology and services by EU operators for the completion of LNG projects under construction such as Arctic LNG and Murmansk LNG. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. Copper miner Freeport Indonesia has raised its output guidance for the year as it awaits an extension of its copper concentrate export permit that the government has promised, the company's deputy chief executive told Parliament on Monday. Its copper concentrate output target this year was lifted to 3.78 million metric tons, assuming the export permit extension is approved, from an initial 2.84 million tons. The deputy CEO Genpino Nabdi said. The company, majority owned by the Indonesian government but operated by U.S. miner Freeport McMoran, also raised its 2024 refined copper output target to 1.73 million pounds, from 1.42 million pounds previously, he added.
Russia's finance ministry on Monday proposed increasing mineral extraction rents from next year on diamond, gold and iron ore mining. Changes that could boost tax revenues by 230.5 billion rubles, $2.59 billion, from 2025 to 2027. The government last week approved tax hikes for companies and wealthy individuals that could add an extra $30 billion to next year's budget revenues and will allow Moscow to further ratchet up spending, including on the conflict in Ukraine, without compromising fiscal stability. The ministry's latest proposed tax hikes would be offset by the abolition of export duties linked to the ruble-dollar exchange rate that were introduced in October 2023.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
Russia may declare a nationwide emergency by the end of this week due to frosts that have damaged crops, Agriculture Minister Oksana Lut was quoted as saying on Monday. State news agency RIA quoted LUT as saying she hoped the measure would be declared, paving the way for insurance claims, following a meeting of a committee of the Emergencies Ministry. Several Russian regions have already declared local emergencies because of the frosts, which have hit crops ranging from grains to apples.
That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.